Welcome to the final game of Week 8 of the Simulation Football League as it takes us to Charleston, South Carolina here at Robert Smalls Memorial Stadium. The Charleston Predators welcome in the Washington Tridents here for tonight's game. Up in the broadcast booth, my name is Eric Benson. I am here. Ramos Lynn is there. Ron Haynes and Greg Soto, they're in the stats truck, and Commissioner Cameron Irvine is back at SFL HQ. Ramos, I think this is one of those games where you toss the records out the window. It could be a hard-fought game between both these teams.
Yeah, and we talked about it, at the start of, when we were prepping for pregame and everything. So Washington obviously coming in 4-1. They did have a loss the last time they took the field. For Charleston, they're a team that can beat anybody, it feels like, and they're a team that can lose against anybody, it feels like. They have a veteran team with a young quarterback. You look at Doug Spelling, you look at Doug Britton, you look at Xavier Solomon, and France. Like you have some veteranship here in the Charleston offense and defensive side, surrounded with a young quarterback. So if you can help him with a run game, if you can help him with a defense, if you can help him with a little bit of a turnover action, Charleston can take this one at home.
Short kick to start things off, going to the Washington Trident. Good return here, and almost makes it to the 40-yard line, so good starting field position here for Tommy Utah and the Trident.
I will take a look at Washington the last time. The last time out, they did try a heavy passing offense. It didn't work so well for them. They do have three really talented backs in Kaufman, Dean, and Gusters. So I'm expecting for them, as they go in the I formation, looks like, expecting for them to involve the running game a little bit more tonight.
Charleston coming out with 7 in the box to start things off on first down from the 39. It is going to be a run play, and it's going to be a good one of 5 to Christopher Dean as we look at the Trident offense. Tommy Utah quarterback, Shane Kaufman, Christopher Dean, and Julian Gusters in the backfield. King Alexander, Johan Sutherland, Terrell Cooper, and Phil Koss, the wide receivers. Azami Mihata is the tight end. Robert Thump, Scott Pancake, Bill McMillan, Phil McMillan, Charles Michael, and Dakota Butts are along the offensive line. As Washington keeps it on the ground, gets close to the line to gain through Kaufman's run, it should be a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and this is a team that has obviously a lot of those Motor City V8 players. Phil Koss, Azami Mihata, 2 really good blockers as tight ends.
Backs with Utah under center. Koss is the motion man. And on 3rd and 1, Washington trying to find some room, and they're going to get the first down, but just barely. It took some effort there from Christopher Dean.
Yeah, it sure did. It sure did, but a first down nonetheless here for Washington past midfield. So already a positive drive here by the Trident.
Washington, the beneficiaries of Cameron Duty's short kickoff to start things. And then a good return brought him up to the 39-yard line. Now in Charleston territory, Utah's first pass is going to be a little bit too far for the intended receiver. As we look at the Charleston defense, Forrest Dalton, Dan Dash, Frank Doom, Anthony Ellison, and John Nevels along the front 4. Jamal Ballard, Khalil Thomas, Ben Bowman are the linebackers. Jacob Clear, Miranda Dumas, Brandon Ewing, and Leo Morris are the corners. Matt Ryan, Sam Blotner, and John Stamango round out the secondary for Charleston. 2nd and 10 now. Utah throwing again, this time complete, and it's going to be a first down inside the 35-yard line of Charleston.
Yeah, and Washington has a really talented receiving core. Terrell Cooper may be the better of the receivers. He can do a little bit of everything. He's very tall, but he has a lot of speed and quickness to get to the inside, just like he did that time. It's man-to-man coverage, and he just outpaced the DB by like 3-4 yards.
24th catch on the season, over 400 yards for Cooper. As Washington sets up with the first set of downs, blitz coming, Utah dumps it out quickly. And good open field tackle there by the linebacker to make it just a 3-yard gain.
And I like the mix. I like the mix here by Washington. 2nd and 7, maybe keep it on the ground this time. Try to make it a 3rd and short.
Khalil Thomas with the stop there on first down. 2nd down now, handoff. And up the middle for maybe a couple is Kaufman, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
You know, in this intermediate situation is where you can involve your tight ends. You know, I always like to involve the tight ends here in 3rd and medium. As Phil Goss is split out wide in the slot.
Utah on 3rd down, pocket collapsing. He's moving, and he's going to take off and run. He's got the 1st down as he gets close to the SFL red zone, but that'll move the sticks again. Good productive drive for Washington to start things off.
Yeah, and good decision. You know, it was deep coverage by Charleston. It looks like they were running some type of quarters coverage. And so, you know, just take off and run and get the 1st down.
Mark him just outside the 20. But a 1st down. Utah, blitz coming again. He throws it right into Thomas's back, and it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, he just got right in the lane of the pass, but unable to turn around and get the ball. Charleston sending some pressure, though. I mean, we've seen a couple of plays in which they're just sending pretty much everybody.
Four different defenders with at least 2 sacks on the season for the Predator defense as Utah is going to fire end zone. That's complete and dragged down at about the 1-yard line. Mihata with the catch and a 1st and goal.
Solid job by the offensive line. We're going to see on the replay. They sent 3 defenders on a blitz, and they moved the pocket in a nice block at the end on the outside. 1st and goal. At least you run it here on 1st and goal, I think, Eric.
Especially with the split backs. A lot of red jerseys in the middle of that field, though. Utah going to hand it off to Dean, and he dives into the end zone with ease. Touchdown, Trident.
Yeah, no, great drive. You know, great drive by the Trident. Good protection given to the quarterback by the offensive line, and some space by the running backs to run through.
Took a minute for that hole to develop, but once Christopher Dean saw it, he was right into the middle of the end zone. Called it a dive, maybe more of a belly flop.
Yeah. like a rugby score.
Yeah. See, something like that. Extra point up and good by James Troll. It makes it 7-0. And you mentioned it, Ramos. Good productive drive there to start things off for the Trident. 11 plays, 61 yards, and that 1-yard rushing touchdown by Dean.
Yeah, and right out the gate, it looked good. You know, they were running the football to start. They were, you know, establishing that run game, and they connected with a rollout pass, and they had the scramble by Tommy Utah. Really good balance.
Britton with the return. Gets rid of the 1st defender and the 2nd. And gets dragged down at about the 25-yard line. Marking down to 26. Hyman Kopech going to come out and lead the Predator offense.
Yeah, and for Charleston, again, you have quite a few veterans. Nick Hoagland is one of the big veterans. Michael Knight, you know, you have a lot of veteran talent here on your offense. You need balance as well from the Charleston offense if you want to, you know, get past a team like Washington.
Doug Britton and Xavier Solomon are going to be the 2 big targets here for Kopech in the passing game, as both of them have surpassed 600 yards on the season. Kopech will start off under center, and he's going to go play action. Sets his feet, he fires over the middle of the field, and that is Doug Britton near midfield, and Charleston is on the move already.
I'm a big fan of a play-action rollout throw right there as Doug Britton goes on the post route. Good throw, good timing on that one too. And it's a explosive play here for Charleston, first play offensively.
Didn't waste any time moving the ball 20-plus yards. As they move Sandcastle in motion, it's a 1st down. Back to the rollout. Kopech sets his feet and fires into covers, but it's a one-handed pick. What a play there by the Washington defense, as it's Nathaniel Diggs that comes up with the interception and the early turnover.
A little bit more difficult to scramble to the left if you're a right-handed quarterback, but what an interception by the linebacker.
And you know what? We're going to give that the nice hands catch, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. A linebacker making a one-handed snag in traffic against the tight end.
Yeah.
That's worthy of it.
Yeah.
So now Washington takes over just outside of Charleston territory, and that run there by Dean is going to get him deep into the Charleston Predator territory, out past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's when you trust your offensive line. You know, you call a draw play here on 1st and 10. And, you know, really, the running back doesn't get touched. Christopher Dean doesn't get touched until he's past the first down marker.
He's had a good night so far, averaging 5 yards a clip and a touchdown already. First down, back to the ground game. This time it's Kaufman, only for a couple of yards.
And with the run game, it's, you know, not every play is going to be, you know, 7-8 yard runs. You know, you live with those 1 and 2 yard runs because you know that eventually you're going to get the big explosive play. So, you know, it's like in boxing. You do the jabs, that way you can do the uppercut, then that way you can do, you know, the kill shot. So, you know, you have to stick with it even if it's not giving you 7 yards every run.
And they're going to stick with that run game mentality as Dean checks back in and he gets a couple of yards. Sets up third medium, and they were very successful in that situation just to drive a go.
3rd down and 5. Let's see.
2 for 2 already, and Utah, oh, he should have had 3 for 3, but a good hit on the back end there jars the football loose. That's going to be a 4th down.
Yeah, good coverage. That was all good coverage because it was a good throw, and it was a good route by Gerald Cooper right there getting past the first down marker, but that's a nice job by Neil Morris, and it forces a punt. So great job by the Charleston defense. Could have been much worse.
Utrecht Rugen with their first punt of the evening. Fair catch going to be called for and made by Britton at the 15-yard line. So good job by Charleston to force the punt there off of the interception by Kopech. And he's actually taken very good care of the football. That's only his 7th interception on the year.
Yeah, which, you know, here in the SFL, as we know, defenders are very good, and they can intercept throws just like Diggs did, so it's not bad at all.
Just showing pressure, but good move there by the running back, Nick Hoagland, as he's able to rumble forward for a gain of 6. We'll look at the Predator offense. Iman Kopech at quarterback. Ian Francis, Nick Hoagland, and Brad Taylor Wright are in the backfield. Doug Spelling, Nick Twice, Michael Knight, and Doug Britton, the receivers. Leon Sandcastle, Xavier Solomon are the tight ends. Perrin Ibarra, Benny Franklin, Leroy James, Finley James, and Melanier Hopper are along the offensive line. Back to the ground game. First down and more, just barely, as Ian Francis rumbles forward for a gain of 6.
Yeah, so, you know, it's that balance that Charleston has to find. You know, they also cannot be scared about the interception. You know, they still have to trust in their passing game, but if the run game is working, then no need to change it.
Blitz, and they'll run it right into it as Hoagland gets another 3. And I think maybe this might be just a change of pace here, Ramos. They started throwing a little bit early, decided to go back to the run game. You've got 2 talented backs back there, and Brad Taylor Wright at fullback.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a talented group. It's a really talented group here for Charleston.
Still with no passing on this drive, but they haven't necessarily needed it as Francis and Hoagland are both carrying the rock with ease, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and short.
You know, you can run it here again, or you can throw. You know, you have your playbook pretty open.
Charleston only averaging 85 yards a game rushing. But they're going to stick to it here as Hoagland lowers his shoulder and churns his feet, and he's able to get the needed yardage for the Predators.
Yeah, you know, Hoagland has always been a power back, former fullback back in the day, and really tough to stop one-on-one, especially with a DB.
Kopech to the air for the first time, throws and incomplete. Good deflection there on the back end by John DeSantis.
Nice job as the defense over floated that zone, really. I mean, there were about 4 different defenders covering 2 receivers.
Kopech has looked a little shaky so far, only 1 of 3 with the 22-yard completion to Britton early on. Second down following the incompletion. Kopech back to the air, pump fakes, he's gonna go down. A couple different defenders getting back there and making the sack, including Tina Begin. And that's gonna be a loss of at least 6.
Yeah, a little bit of a polar opposite, you know, the offensive line of Washington giving their quarterback plenty of time to throw the football, and Kopech instead getting sacked on that. Only his 4th dropback of the game.
Begin with her 4.5 sack on the season as Kopech gonna take off and run with it. Since the pressure comes backside, juke move there, but he gets greeted by a Washington defender. And he'll get 9, but it's gonna bring up a 4th and 7. And still not within field goal range.
You know, they'll have to punt and they have to trust their defense. Their defense did a very good job last time out, so they need another solid drive to get the ball back.
Cameron Duty, the kicker and the punter for this Charleston team, and that's a good punt out to the Washington 31-yard line. Been a fast-paced first quarter of action, 1 turnover and 1 touchdown, as Washington is looking to expand their lead, already up by 7 with less than a minute to go in the opening frame.
Yeah, and for Washington, they do look in control overall of the game, even though it's only 7-0. You know, you like to tire this defense right now. You know, run it at least here on 1st down, I think.
Tonstead going to go to the air. Low throw, but put it just where his receiver could get it, and that's Mihata with another catch, gain of 8.
That's an outstanding throw right there in between 2 different defenders. You know, the defenders did like a bracket coverage, high-low. So he was kind of sandwiched between them, and that was an outstanding throw.
Dean with another carry, and he'll get close to the line to gain as Bowman makes the stop. It's going to be a 3rd and maybe an index card.
Yeah, but already, you know, 11 rushing attempts here in the first quarter. Why this Washington offense? 10, probably 11 with this one.
Might be the last play of the first quarter as the carry by Dean is able to get 1st down yardage for the Trident. And that will, in fact, bring us to the end of 1. Washington up by 7 over the hometown Charleston Predators. And Simulation Football League action continues here on the Virtual Football Network. Eric Vincent here, Ramos Lynn there. We've got Ron Haynes and Greg Soto in the stats truck. Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. See if he pops in with a game break a little bit later on, as we've got another game in progress going on as well. And that's between Vancouver and Arizona. Good one here so far as Washington has a fresh set of downs following that Dean run, and he gets another carry, this time for a big gain of 8. So that's up 2nd and manageable.
You know, and this defense is trying to, you know, stop the run. They're sending some safeties right there in the box and, you know, try to put more people on it. But again, the offensive line doing an amazing job blocking and getting to the 2nd level even.
A great start so far for Washington. Already gotten a turnover. They've gotten an easy rushing touchdown for Dean as Kaufman gets a carry, but good open field tackle in the backfield by Khalil Thomas. That's going to be a TFL and a loss of maybe a couple.
It's 3rd and 2. Even though it's a 3rd and 2, you can still run it here, but probably you do a little bit of a change of pace. Not sure with 2 tight ends though.
Flipbacks, and Charleston was ready for that one. Frank Doom blows it up in the backfield. It's a back-to-back TFLs and a punt opportunity here for the Charleston defense.
Yeah, and that one never had a chance. Great play here by the defense again of Charleston, making a big-time play before Washington is able to get into field goal territory.
Rugen with the punt, and that's going to trickle into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback. bringing out to the 20-yard line.
You know, and Charleston just needs to get a little bit of momentum. They need to string a good drive together. You know, get I'm in Kopech some layups. You know, just maybe a swing pass, maybe a quick shallow cross, something that can get him going a little bit.
Been a little inconsistent so far, going 1 for 3 in the first quarter of play. Going to keep it on the ground. Hoagland with a good carry there. Lowers the shoulder and gets a couple extra yards. Gain of 6. And we'll look at the Washington defense here. Rodney Panani, King McNeely, Doug Howard, team to begin along the front 4. Nicholas Warner, Kappa Jones, Nathaniel Diggs, and TJ Harper, the linebackers. Mark Kaufman, Ryan Cook, John DeSantis, and Maxwell Quimby are the corners. Willie Bands and Albert Begin round out the secondary for the Trident. 2nd and 4 for Charleston. Back to the ground game. Francis with the carry. He'll get a couple on that play. Brings up a 3rd and medium-ish.
So only 2 players have gotten a target so far. Xavier Solomon and Doug Britton. Nothing from Michael Knight. Nothing from Doug Spelling or Nick Twice. Or Leon Sandcastle, for that matter.
Kopech to the air. Sensing the pressure, he's going to take off and run. Slides, but a fumble. And Washington pounces on it. And they're deep in Charleston territory on that one.
Yeah, you know, and that's why sometimes coaches, you know, advise the quarterbacks, you know, as soon as you get the first down, get down. Really, you know, getting a couple extra yards doesn't matter as much as, you know, the quarterback safety and the football. And he slid a little bit too late and missed the grip of the ball, and Washington already in scoring position.
Nathaniel Diggs making his case for player of the game as he's gotten a one-handed pick and then just got the fumble recovery there. We'll see what Washington can do with it. Deep in Charleston territory. Utah to throw. Throws it into coverage, but somehow it is caught. Terrell Cooper with the catch. No, they're going to call it incomplete. I thought he had caught it somehow.
It kind of ricocheted out of the defender's grasp and into Terrell Cooper's hands, but unable to come up with it.
Khalil Thomas again on the coverage. He's been exceptional here for the Charleston defense. As he's coming in on a blitz, Dean with the carry, and he'll move forward for a gain of 3, bring up 3rd down.
And this Charleston team is just selling for the run here on defense. Again, we've seen a few times, maybe a handful of times, 0 coverage. So basically they just send 8 people at the running back.
Utah on 3rd down, throws, it's going to be a pick! Spin move there, maybe a little bit ill-advised as Blonder comes up with the interception. He had reservations for 6 written all over that one, but Utah is able to chase him down.
What a play. That's just lurk coverage or robber coverage, however you want to call it, and great read by the safety. And again, the Charleston defense clutches up here inside their own territory.
And to your point, Ramos, both of these defenses have come out very aggressively, which is probably why we only see 7 points on the board collectively between these two teams. As Hoagland gets the carry for maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, and that touchdown came in the first drive, so we've gone about 10 minutes, which is about a full quarter of play without any points scored.
Kopech back to the air, sets his feet and fires into double coverage and incomplete. He was looking for Xavier Solomon. And we touched on this, Ramos. There's really 2 key weapons here through the air for Kopech. It's Britton and Solomon. Britton's only had 1 catch, and Solomon maybe 1 target.
Yeah, if that. I mean, it's just a great job by Washington's defense, you know, taking those targets away. Uh-oh.
Play action. Kopech's in trouble. He avoids the sack, fires, and incomplete. He knew he had to get rid of that one. And maybe an ill-advised throw, as Britton was the intended receiver, but it's another 4th down as both these defenses baring their teeth.
Yeah, and it's great pressure by Washington's defense again, and Kopech has gotten hit a few times already here in the first half, which Doesn't bode well for the Predators.
Good put there by Cameron Duty, and a fair catch called for and made near the 25, and that's exactly where they'll mark the Trident for their next possession. The 2025 SFL Convention kicks off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th through the 14th. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency, looking out into Baltimore's Inner Harbor. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate listed at simfl.net. Looking at the team stats, both these teams having trouble getting anything going offensively, but both run games have been productive as Dean gets another carry for 5.
Yeah, and sometimes, when you look at a game like this, only 7 points, you think, is it really good defense or is it just bad offense? This is good defense, I think, from both sides, and both of them are doing differently. Charleston forcing the interception last time, and Washington getting the pressure on the quarterback.
Up the middle goes Kaufman as he gets an opportunity at the football, a gain of 4, and it's putting Washington ahead of schedule, 3rd and 1.
Ratings for both quarterbacks. Charleston's Kopech with a 5.8 quarterback rating, and Tommy Utah with a 20.8 quarterback rating. So these secondaries are playing really well.
And Christopher Dean gets blown up in the backfield. Khalil Thomas, well, we've had 2 linebackers play extremely well, one for each team. It's Khalil Thomas for Charleston and Nathaniel Diggs for Washington. And again, I think it's good defense, Ramos. That's why we're seeing little points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with a game like that, unless, we see a total shift, defensive player of the game, or the player of the game, will be on the defensive side of, whatever team wins.
Charleston losing the turnover battle as well, turning the ball over twice, one through an interception and another through a fumble. Sam Garnes gets attended to on the field. We'll get an update on him as the medical staff informs us. And, that already puts you behind the sticks, so to speak, losing the turnover battle.
Yeah, it really does.
Charleston to come out with split backs, 3 wide. Pitch play this time going to Hoagland, trying to find a little bit of room, but good run support by the secondary as well as the linebackers. It's going to be a loss of 1.
Yeah, and both teams have tried to run the football in kind of different ways. Washington more so with kind of like that power play. But Charleston has tried, inside runs, outside runs, and defense is all over it.
Kopech going to go to the air. Had an open man. It was Doug Spelling. Couldn't quite reel that one into coverage, and it's going to be a 3rd and long.
And good hit. Doug Spelling is a very tall receiver. He's about 6'6", and that was a good ball by Kopech. It did hit Spelling in the hand, so you have to come up with it.
Especially in tight games like this where the defenses are both playing well, you got to make a play for your quarterback to move the offense down the field. Washington showing blitz. Charleston coming out in a 3 and 1. Play action. Kopech in trouble. He's going to take off and run. He was looking for the sticks, but decides to slide just shy of the line of gain. It'll be a gain of maybe about 8 yards and another 4th down.
Yeah, and Washington again doing a really good job protecting the sticks here on 3rd and long.
Especially with a mobile quarterback.
Absolutely. You can accept 6, 7, 8 yards. That's fine as long as it doesn't get the 1st down. You did your job and you got off the field. Another 3 and out.
Return by Sutherland brings it out to the Washington 28-yard line. And that's a point as well as, Kopech, he has no problem taking off and using his feet. And sometimes, that's a problem for defenses because they don't know how to cover it. But they've been collectively great across the board. Both of these teams have.
Yeah, both of them have. You look at the quarterback play, and Tommy Utah has 1 scramble for 8 yards. Kopech has 4 scrambles for 17 yards, but none of them have been, we saw one from Tommy Utah that was successful, but none of them have been really impactful at all.
And again, pressure on the quarterbacks all night long as that one was ricocheted by a defender at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete.
And that's why you teach your defensive linemen, just get your hands up. If you cannot get to the quarterback, maybe you can bat the ball, and that is so frustrating for quarterbacks when they get their passes batted at the line of scrimmage.
So that brings up a second down, I formation. Utah to throw. Blitz coming from his backside. He gets it, and he's thrown, and it's incomplete.
Finally, Charleston getting some pressure on the QB too. In the first quarter, Tommy Utah had a lot of time to throw the football. Now he doesn't. So really good adjustment here by the Predator defense.
I believe that was Brandon Ewing coming around on the corner blitz that laid the hit on Utah, jar it loose. Washington on third down. Utah throws, and a great catch there as he breaks free. He's rumbling down the sideline. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. King Alexander is eventually going to get dragged down just outside the 10-yard line, but what a move there to make the catch and avoid the two defenders to take off running for open grass.
He just ran out of gas. You got to run some sprints, but that's an amazing catch, though. I mean, it's double coverage. Really awesome job by Ryan and Ewing getting to the zone, but unable to make the play, and that's a huge play here for the Washington defense. Again, offense in a game where, points will be at a premium. Even getting a field goal here will be huge.
61-yard catch and run by King Alexander. Jacob Clear with the touchdown-saving tackle. As Washington sets up in the red zone, and they'll start off with a short gain of 2. Another tackle by Thomas.
Yeah, and here for Washington, again, I don't think this is going to be a game in which you need 30 points to score, so protect the football has to be #1 priority.
2nd and 8 now from inside the 10. Dean with the carry, avoids the initial contact, and keeps rumbling forward for another gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Tackle made by Blotner.
One of the better runs of the night here by Christopher Dean. His longest is 12 yards. That one good for about 5, and 3rd and 4 again. As I say, in tricky situation when you have a 3rd down and medium inside the 5.
8 in the box for Charleston. Blitz coming. Utah throws incomplete, looking for Mihata in the back of the end zone, and it's going to be a 4th down.
That was a little bit underthrown right there from Mihata. That has to go probably a couple yards, deeper. It has to go to the back of the end zone. A good defensive play right there by the linebacker and the safety. But, all said, Washington can go up the scores here.
Ewing and Bowman were in there on coverage. It's going to be a short field goal opportunity here for James Troll. Bad snap from 22 yards out. He's able to bang it through and make it a 10-0 lead with 2:31 to go here in the opening half.
So 2:31 here for the Predators. They do have time to run a 2-minute offense. 3 timeouts, the 2-minute warning as well.
To get some sort of offensive production going for sure, though. I mean, the run game can only last you for so long before Washington picks up on it and slams the door shut on the opportunity. Return here by Twice, as he's able to make it out to the 25-yard line. 2:26, as you mentioned, Ramos, all 3 timeouts. Charleston has got to find some sort of offensive momentum here besides just the run game for about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah. And Charleston's offense really needs to, again, as I said, probably a couple drives ago, get a little bit of rhythm and get a little bit of flow to their offense.
Two scoring drives for Washington, over 60 yards tonight. 10-0 lead for them as Charleston takes possession. Wide open man is Britton along the far sideline. He makes the catch and gets dragged down after a gain of 12.
A little bit of busted coverage right there by the corner. Really first time we see a busted coverage like that, as they were running a zone. It looks like the corner was assigned to the flat, John DeSantis, and just lost sight of the receiver. Solid way to start your drive here.
See if Charleston gets off one more play before we hit the 2-minute warning. And they will not get it off. 2 minutes to go here in Charleston. The hometown Predators down by 10, but they are driving as they look to even up this ball game here. SFL action on VFN continues. Eric Vincent alongside Ramos Lynn in the broadcast booth. Ron Haynes and Greg Soto in the stats truck. Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. Kopech, short drop, throw, one-handed catch by Britton. Great job in coverage, and they're going to give him the first down.
Really nice job. Really good catch by Doug Britton. So far, the only player who has caught a ball. He knows he's going to get hit. That's a bang 8 play. A bang 8 route. And you know you're going to get hit on those.
Willie Band's the one laying the hit on the back end. Britton holds on to the football, and another first down for Charleston as the clock continues to tick away. Back to the ground game with Hoagland, and blown up right in the middle of that line of scrimmage there. TJ Harper with the stop, gain of 1.
120 left. You know, this play will decide a lot of things. If Charleston stays aggressive, and what they do for the rest of the drive.
Kopech retreats, sets his feet, fires, and incomplete. He was looking for Britton again. Trying to go back to the well, but it's going to be a 3rd and 9.
And you know, Washington is just covering the right guys. They're sending the pressure, but they are making sure Doug Britton is getting a couple of eyes on him, and you know, they're just not allowing him to kill him deep. You know, he's gotten a few catches, but nothing, you know, really like deep like that.
Kopech on the play action, and the catch is made by Michael Knight as he steps up and makes a play for his quarterback. Timeout called by Charleston.
Best throw of the night so far here by Kopech. Now is when you think about at least getting a field goal on this drive. It looks like they're going to go empty here.
4 wide. Tight end on the line. Kopech over the middle, and a little too much sauce on that one. Brings up 2nd down. And to your point, Ramos, it's been a good defensive game plan from Washington, sending pressure to get Kopech uncomfortable and covering his main weapons in Doug Britton and Solomon. Britton's had 5 targets and a few catches. Solomon has had 3 targets and no catches.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, and the guys who are being left one-on-one, to your point, are doing an outstanding job in coverage.
Twice the motion man on 2nd down. Kopech to throw. Wide open man over the middle of the field. Inside the SFL red zone is Doug Spelling. And Charleston going to call their 2nd timeout.
Yeah, so the defense just sent in a blitz, and they throw it to that spot. A good recognition right there by Kopech.
Mark him down at the 14-yard line. Fresh set of downs for the Predators, trying to get the first points on the board. Kopech with time. He's going to throw towards the end zone, and they'll mark him just shy of the goal line. It's going to be a 1st and goal, Charleston, with no more timeouts.
That has to be a boot review. At least on first glance, I think he crossed the goal line.
It definitely looked like it, but no booth review. Twice with the catch. 1st and goal. Washington coming out in a man coverage look. Kopech rolls out, throws across his body, intended for Spelling and incomplete. Good play on the back end. One-on-one coverage there by John DeSantis.
Yeah, that's one of the big no-nos of a quarterback, just throwing across the body, especially when you don't have a lot of room. Gotta give it to Brad Taylor right here.
He's the single back in the formation with 3 wide. 45 seconds frozen on the clock. No more timeouts for Charleston. They'll throw instead. Low ball, and it is caught. What a catch by Xavier Solomon. His first catch of the game is a touchdown, and what a catch that is.
It's a great throw and a great catch. That's great placement. It's low and away from the defender. You see it on the replay. Beautiful pass and a great catch as well to connect, and that's an amazing 2-minute drive here by the Predators. A great way to end the half here offensively for him.
So Charleston finally gets on the board. Cameron Duty with the extra point as they narrow the gap to 3 points. 10 plays, 75 yards, all in less than 2 minutes. No more timeouts with the Predators, but Washington, they still have all 3 timeouts and 43 seconds to work with.
They do. I think if you're Washington, it depends on the return, I guess, but just take it to the half with a 3-point lead.
Charleston is going to get the second half kickoff, so we'll see if that factors into any decision-making that the Trident have on this possession, as Koss brings it out to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, ball at the 28-yard line, you do have your 3 timeouts, but I think you have to be pretty content that you're on the road winning by 3 points and you get, you don't get the ball to start second half, but, you do have, a solid momentum to go to in the second half.
Good point. And they're coming out in I formation. They've been known to run the ball, but Utah going to throw it, and he throws it into one-on-one coverage. Catch is made, but no hurry to call a timeout after a gain of 8.
Maybe you run it. Maybe you run it here, see if you can get an explosive play from the running back, but not much more than that.
Utah inefficient tonight, but over 100 yards throwing. He's passed 21,000 yards on his career. Good tough running there by Christopher Dean, able to get the first down, but maybe too little too late as the clock is going to hit triple zeros, and we will take that into the half with the Trident up by 3 over the Charleston Predators, 10-7. And Ramos, any initial thoughts here? It's been a defensive struggle, but what are your thoughts as we hit the half with our first half stats and highlights?
Yeah, defensive struggle by both teams, but a good end of the half by both offenses at the same time. Washington able to get a field goal after that long throw, and Charleston with an amazing 2-minute drive to get in the end zone with Xavier Solomon. His only catch of the night, good for that score, and it has felt like even though both defenses have played well, Washington has played better overall, but it's still only a 3-point game, and the Predators do get the ball to start the second half, so I think we're up for a fantastic finish.
And our halftime player to watch out for is Christopher Dean. 14 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Had a catch for 2 yards as well. We're going to step aside and take a short break, brought to you by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, brakesgpt.com. Charleston getting the second half kickoff, and it is a deep kick near the back of the end zone, received by Britton. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
All right, it's an opportunity for Charleston to build out, from that touchdown scoring drive. If you can put a long drive together and, put Washington defense, because, the Washington defense had to withstand a pretty long drive. It was pretty long and it was pretty quick, so they were moving up and down the field, so see what they do here.
Kopech going to go to the air to start things off, trying to thread the needle along that far sideline, and it's incomplete. Harper in coverage on Solomon.
And, Washington able to get really good coverage. It's only a 3-man rush, so they put about 8 players in coverage, and not a lot of space to throw the football to.
So after the incompletion, second down, I formation, Kopech going to stick to the air. throws, and it's going to be another interception.
And fumble.
And a fumble subsequently, and Charleston, I think, got it back.
I think Washington still got it at the end, but what a play here again by another linebacker. We've seen amazing plays by linebackers.
Oh, man.
Yep, they were able to pounce on it. That was number 95, Ken McNeely.
And Kappa Jones with the interception to start things off, and the subsequent fumble. It's been a wild night for the defense of both of these teams. But Washington keeps possession, and they'll start off at the 31-yard line of Charleston. Utah to the air, throws, and I don't think his intended target was ready for that one. Christopher Dean drops it. It's going to bring up second down.
And Charleston do it again. You know, they faced this situation about 3 times in this ball game, and maybe 3-4 times, and they've been able a couple times to get a stop inside their own 40-yard line.
See if they can hold strong here. After the incompletion, second down, Charleston sending pressure. Utah on the run. He throws over the middle of the field, and the catch is made by Sutherland. As we toss it over to SFL HQ for our first game break of the evening, Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Cam.
Thank you, Eric. This block delivering Vancouver, Arizona. Christian Brown's pass picked off by Adam Wiseman. 7 of the first 9 drives in this game resulted in scores, and Wiseman gets all the way gone. Arizona now leads 27-21 over Vancouver in the 4th. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. We love tutties for the hit squad as Dean is able to get the carry there on first down for a gain of a couple.
I know, like 2 different games, you know, both very exciting, but here we have 17 combined points, and over there they're close to 50.
I don't think we're going to see a different storyline here in the second half, just based off of what we've seen already, Ramos.
Yeah.
Mihata, the motion man, handoff goes to Dean. Still trying to work his way out of the backfield, and does so as he gets a gain of about 4 yards, bringing up a 3rd and 3.
3rd down, 3 yards to go. Again, one of those situations inside the 5, but it's 3rd down and 3. What to do?
Utah to the air on 3rd down. He's in trouble, and he gets sandwiched in the backfield. Both of the ends for Charleston, Dalton and Dash, getting in there and getting half a sack apiece.
And there's just not enough room anymore for your offense to try to connect with one of your receivers. Good pressure by both ends. And Charleston will not get a full stop, but they will get a half a stop, and they will keep it a 1-score game.
Then the chip shot field goal for James Troll. He nailed the 22-yard attempt, this one from 27, and he's able to rope that one through to make it a 6-point game off of the turnover.
And, you know, Washington able to at least get some points right there on that drive. They do get an interception and 3 points right out of it, so not a bad start here of the 3rd quarter by the Trident.
And Charleston still in this ball game despite 3 turnovers from Kopech, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Their defense has played well to limit points off of the turnovers as the subsequent kickoff goes out of the end zone for a touchback. Washington clearly playing well offensively, yards, speaking from a yardage standpoint, but Charleston, like I said, they've been playing well defensively. Both these teams have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You look at the rushing yards, not a whole lot.
Charleston got to go back to the ground game with Hoagland. And it's going to be a short gain of 3, going to bring up second down.
And they do have about 15 rushes, but only about 50 yards total.
Not a whole lot to speak of as Washington has done well in the run defense. Kopech to the air, throws it into double coverage again and incomplete. Solomon couldn't quite reel that one in. He had his hands on it, Ramos.
Yep, he did. And you have to come up with it. At the end of the day, that was a good throw by Kopech, it hit both of his hands and unable to come up with it. So 6th target of the game here for Solomon, and only one catch. That was, that touchdown.
So 3rd and 7 now. Play action. Kopech in trouble. He's going to throw, and again, incomplete. Trying to thread the needle to Britton. And Kopech is not having a great night, but Charleston still hanging tough, only down by 6 as they punt the football away now.
These corners are just glued to the receivers. There's just not a lot of room. Kopech now 7 of 19 passing.
Still hasn't hit the 100-yard mark as we're about halfway through the 3rd quarter of play. It's going to be good starting field position once again here for the Trident as they'll set up shop at midfield following the short punt. And we'll see if the Charleston defense can respond once again. I mean, they've really responded for this team and have kept them in the ballgame.
Yeah, they really have. They really have. They'll need to do it one more time, though. Because, again, if Washington can come up with points here, then that 2-score game is not insurmountable, but definitely way more difficult to overcome.
Delayed blitz, but the pressure sent by Charleston is able to gobble it up. Only a gain of maybe a half a yard and a 2nd down.
It's the 50 already. I mean, Washington was spotted really good field position. Here you run it again here on 2nd and 9.
Well, instead Utah's going to throw, and he threads the needle there. Out over the middle to Phil Koss. Good one-on-one coverage, but Utah put it where only Koss could catch it.
Yeah, and that's good protection again by the offensive line. Getting the quarterback enough time to find his open receiver and a clean lane.
That's how Washington has stayed in this ball game and leading this ball game wire to wire so far. Been great defense, winning the turnover battle, and making plays when they needed to. Charleston just hasn't made those necessary plays thus far. As Utah going to sling it out to Dean. Good open field tackle there by Blotner. It's going to be a TFL loss of 1.
This is an area here for Washington that is kind of tricky. Again, they're out in the outskirts of field goal range. Maybe not close enough. They do need about 5 more yards.
Be about a 52-yarder from about right here as Utah is going to throw and incomplete. Brandon Ewing has been playing very, very well in coverage, and he forces another incompletion.
Really has. That's outstanding man-to-man coverage. 3rd and 11. I still think you have to focus on getting those 5 yards first. If you can get the yards after the catch for a 1st down, that's great.
Looks like they're going to run some in routes, but Utah's in trouble. He's going to take off and run, and nobody was there to defend him. Thankfully for Charleston, they're able to get him down just shy of the line to gain, but Ramos, they did get those necessary yards to get him in field goal range.
They sure didn't, but let's see if they try to challenge that one. It's definitely very close. Looks like they're, yeah.
They are going to challenge it, yep. And at this point, why wouldn't you? You might as well throw the challenge flag, see what you can get out of it. As we take a retroactive look at the play, get your console to play SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com.
Certainly close.
And it's all where he starts the slide, and, it looks like it's pretty darn close to that line to gain. Yeah, he might be a little short, Ramos.
Might be about half a yard shy, yeah.
And ruling on the field is going to stand, so the Trident going to lose the timeout. Can't necessarily say I blame the Washington coaching staff, though. Go ahead and throw the flag.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if you could go ahead and get a call to go your way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. You have to do it. Ultimately, you have to do it.
Because now what they have to do is settle for a long field goal attempt, 42 yards. Troll is hit from 22 and 27, and he's going to bend this one right through the uprights and make it a 9-point game.
It's a big field goal, though. I mean, that's now a 9-point game. That's 2 possessions. Still a lot of time here for Charleston, but 2 possessions always difficult to overcome here in the second half.
Well, and it's difficult when, your defense is out there playing more than your offense is. I mean, eventually the Predators' defense is probably going to fold just from sheer exhaustion, not necessarily talent, but they've played very, very well tonight.
Yeah, they sure have.
Britton with the touchback. That'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Stick to your game plan. Keep running it again. Your running backs, again, they've done an okay job trying to run the football 15 times so far, but they still have fresh legs.
Not a whole lot to speak of on the ground. So they've gotten close to 50 yards on the day. Kopech going to throw, and he finds Britton. Fights through the collision there on the back end by Albert Begin, and still holds on to the football. And those are the type of plays, Ramos, that your receivers are going to have to make in a tough game like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then that's been the whole game. Really, Kopech has not had any layups, as we call it, right? Any wide open receiver on a shallow cross or any, screen pass or nothing like that. It's just been challenging throws all around.
Kopech finds Solomon, who gets suplexed for his trouble. Gain of 6 there as Kopech finally hits over the century mark as we're over halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, and it's not for lack of trying. That was his 21st passing attempt.
Second and 4 now. Going to go to the ground game. Hoagland. Again, that's been the recipe for Washington's defense all night long, as the Predators' running backs just have not found any holes whatsoever.
No, nothing like that. In 3rd and 1, I think you stick with the run. I would run it right up the middle here.
Washington sending blitz, clogging those lanes, but Hoagland able to find just enough space to move the chains.
You have to concentrate on getting the first down first. You don't have to score in one play. Get your offense moving a little bit.
I like what Charleston has done so far on this drive, as they've gone to the pass first and then relying on the run to see if they could pick up the first down. Doesn't pan out for him on that play, as Solomon not able to reel that one in, brings up second down.
A decent throw. It just looked like Solomon just lost the handle of the football. Again,
we've seen that a couple times tonight, Ramos.
We have, and again, second down and 10. You do have to get about 6-7 yards to feel comfortable here on 3rd down. Something that Washington has done really well. It's making good plays on first downs.
Delayed handoff. Taylor Wright gets the carry this time. He'll get a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7, but that at least opens up the playbook a little bit more for Charleston.
Yeah, maybe try to put Kopech on the move here. Maybe try to do a rollout and try to find the open receiver that way.
See if they can get him away from pressure. Kopech actually has good protection on this one, and a good throw to Doug Spelling, finding the open target, and another fresh set of downs for Charleston.
Great job by the O-line. You need some time for Spelling to go all the way across the field, really, and find the open spot on the zone. And a good throw by Kopech.
Even then, it wasn't a very large spot in the zone, as Willie Bands made the hit on him half a second later. Another tough catch as Hoagland gets the pitch. And again, good pursuit there by the Washington defense as Warner makes the stop and forces the TFL.
2nd and 12. Again, another tough position here for the Predators on 2nd down.
Kopech throws. Solomon high points the football, but only a short gain. And a 3rd and 7 once more.
So I think you're maybe in field goal range. It will be about a 49-yard field goal from here.
See, Kopech on 3rd down. Again, great throw to Michael Knight, who makes the catch and keeps the drive alive for the Predators.
That's a nice throw by Kopech, right on top of the linebacker in front of the safety. And this is Charleston's best opportunity since the end of the first half.
Dueling post routes as Twice and Knight were both in the area. Michael Knight comes up with it. And into the SFL red zone we go. Once again, Washington. Very tough to run against as Francis finds that out firsthand, and it's going to be a loss of 1.
It's nothing doing on first downs. That run game, Nick Hovland averaging only 2.5 yards per rush.
Kopech again. Throws far sideline, and it's incomplete. Doug Spelling was about as wide open as any of the receivers have been all night long, and he drops it.
Yeah, that just hurts right there if you're Charleston, because that's not only a catch, that's a touchdown. I mean, he can just turn upfield and get the extra 5 yards needed for a score.
Instead, it's going to be a 3rd and long. Trident back out into coverage. Another catch, and it's going to be a touchdown. Michael Knight in the end zone for the score.
It's a great throw again. That's a good drive by Kopech. He did a really nice job moving the ball down the field, and Michael Knight, who was quiet all game, comes up with a couple of big catches here on this drive. I'm better than that one.
Cameron Duty looking to add the extra point, make it a 2-point game, and he does. 16-14, Charleston not done yet. A very long sustained drive, 13 plays as they marched down the field and capped it off with that Michael Knight touchdown.
Right, that's exactly what they needed. Now it's only a 2-point game.
Another short kickoff by Duty. Good return for Washington. Eventually dragged down at the 36-yard line with 1:10 to go in the 3rd. You're watching Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network. This week, it's SFL tonight through Sunday. The UFL is back Monday and Tuesday, while SFLM action returns Thursday. And SFL Week 9 kicks off next Friday with Mike and Gerald at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on an exciting week on VFN.
Go Rochester, by the way.
Go Rochester, absolutely. Pioneers starting off 1-0, just what we like to see.
Absolutely.
First down here for the Trident. Utah able to just get rid of it over to Dean, and it's going to be a short gain of 2.
And good job rallying to the football here by Charleston. I mean, outside of that long throw that we saw, earlier in the game by King Alexander, not a lot of yards after the catch, just in general.
Charleston sending pressure again, another run play. And only a couple from Kaufman brings up 3rd and 3.
Maybe the second to last play of the 3rd quarter. You get to the line of scrimmage if you like what you see by the defense. Then you snap this. If you don't, then you take it to the 4th quarter.
Crucial 3rd down here for the Charleston defense. Washington airs that one out a little bit too far. Mihata, the intended receiver, and a 3-and-out forced by Charleston, and that was a clutch 3rd down force there in forcing a punting opportunity.
Man, and I like the play call, actually. That was one-on-one coverage. You like the tight end against the linebacker. One-on-one, but just completely overthrows that one. I think he just panicked a little bit.
Britton with the punt return as the clock hits triple zeros as he steps out of bounds at the Charleston 28-yard line. And we've got a tight matchup here. Washington only up by 2. They have led wire to wire, but Charleston with the football to start the 4th quarter of action as you're watching the SFL on VFN. Eric Vincent and Ramos Lynn in the broadcast booth. Ron Haynes and Greg Soto in the stats truck. Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. One more quarter of action to go as the Predators take over following the punt return. Down by 2 points. Kopech rolls out, sets his feet and throws into coverage looking for Britton, but it's incomplete. And that's been the story of the night, Ramos. It's been tough sledding for Kopech.
It really has, and it has for the receivers. They just really cannot get much separation at all. I think Kopech overall, outside of maybe the, that interception, and even that interception was just an incredible play by Diggs, has not had a bad game. It's just the receivers are not getting any separation at all.
2nd and 10 now. Kopech back to the air. Good clean pocket. He's going to take off and run. Good move, but man, Kopech paid for it on the back end. Willie Bands has been laying big hits all night long, and that's another one right there.
Just nothing open. He needs to scramble and try to get yards that way, but unable to get anybody to come loose. So 3rd and 11 again.
Bands will get credit for the sack. And it brings up a 3rd and 11. Kopech to the air, pocket collapsing. He's going to throw, and it's picked off for the 3rd time. John DeSantis this time the beneficiary of the ill-advised Kopech pass. And another turnover here as Charleston was knocking on the door.
And that's just incredible trail technique and the closing speed by the corner. I mean, he was beat by like 3 yards. And he made that ground in about a second and a half.
Jones, Diggs, and now DeSantis all with interceptions off of Kopech tonight. Kopech's thrown for under 50% on the evening. It's been a very tough game for him as this Washington defense has performed admirably. Charleston's defense has as well. Only down by 2 as Dean makes the catch there from Utah. And it's going to be a gain of 5.
Needless to say, a huge drive here by the Charleston defense. Even a field goal is still a 1-possession game. They really need to tighten up here.
Possession for both teams. Pressure coming from Charleston. Dean trying to find any room at all, but Khalil Thomas was there to make the stop. Short gain of about 3, and it's going to be a 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2. They may keep it on the ground again here, so gap discipline here for Charleston is going to be crucial. Stay in your lanes.
See if they send pressure again. And they do. Thomas comes in. Kaufman able to get just enough to keep the drive alive out past the 30-yard line.
It's a big play right there by Kaufman. Only his 8th rushing attempt of the night, and that broken tackle, that was no yard gain and turned into a 3.
Keeping it on the ground, trying to chew some clock. Dean with the carry, and he'll get 2. Blotner gets in and makes the stop. Clock continuing to roll.
Yeah, and if Washington can get a touchdown here, I mean, that clock ticking really is going to affect Charleston here.
Utah to throw. Over the middle and a clutch catch by Mihata. He's had a couple of those tonight. And that's going to bring up another 1st down here for Washington as they continue to chew clock.
Yeah, and both tight ends have been targeted numerous times. Hit or miss, mostly miss, as Mihata's 7 target, only 3 catches. Xavier Solomon has 9 targets, 3 catches.
A point of emphasis for both of these defenses. Back to the ground game. Christopher Dean just taking Predator defenders with him as he gets a gain of 8, and we'll toss it over to SFL HQ for another game break. Commissioner Cameron Irvine.
Vancouver trusted their defense late, and they couldn't get a stop. Brad Jones seals the deal for Arizona. The Scorpions pull the upset 27-24. Washington is now your lone one-loss SFL team. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. So that adds a little bit more implications here as Washington came in second in the division after losing last week to Vancouver. They were able to come out with a victory here tonight. They'll be back in first place. And Kaufman is able to take defenders into the end zone for a score. They are now up by 8.
That's just impressive right there by the offensive line. So we're going to see on a replay here. Just inside, both guards doing a great job getting the defenders out of the way. And it's just a quick, trap play. It's a quick hit inside, and with the extra point that is very important, this will be a 2-possession game again. And, back to what we were about 6-7 minutes ago, and it's a 9-point game again, and Charleston will need a quick score here.
Troll able to add the extra points. It is up and through. There's no Monday Night Spectacular this week, but Week 9 of the SFL kicks off Friday with the Matt Wilson Weekly Kickoff Show at 7:45 p.m. Eastern before 3 games around the league. Baltimore, Arizona at 8:30 Eastern, plus Mexico City and D.C., and Sin City and Houston in the late window at 10:15 Eastern right here on the Virtual Football Network. Nick Twice with the return brings it out to the 29-yard line. Still plenty of time here, Ramos, for Charleston to get back in this ball game. 2 possessions, but they're going to have to take care of the football.
They really do, and even a field goal here, it's good. Make it a 1-possession game. But, again, Kopech now with 3 interceptions. One of these receivers need to get open.
He talked about it all night long, that it's been very, very tough for Kopech to get it to any of his receivers as the Washington defense has played them tight. See what they can do here. Kopech to the air on first down. He throws and wide open, but incomplete.
Yep.
And that's been the other piece of the equation. Receivers just dropping balls when they had actually a breath of fresh air from these defenders.
Yeah, maybe the 2 times in which they've been the most open. We saw a couple of drives ago, I think it was, Doug Spelling wide open inside the 10-yard line. He dropped it, and now yet another drop for an easy first down.
Michael Knight with the drop there. He got the last touchdown. Said it's going to be 2nd and 10. Kopech back to the air. Trying to find some room. Fires near sideline and incomplete. That ball hung in the air for a good long while as he was trying to find Solomon. But good closing speed from Albert Begin on the back end forces the 3rd down.
And you have to send 4 wide receivers here on this play. Maybe do some sort of crossing patterns, get the corners a little bit twisted.
Go with the bunch look towards the top of the formation. Washington sending pressure. And an open man by Kopech over the middle. That is Knight, who secures the catch and keeps the drive alive.
Good catch right there. It's just a quick inside route. Quick slant. In between the zone. Good throw.
Good job by Kopech recognizing that the blitz was coming as Warner was coming in from his outside linebacker spot to make the hit. Kopech delivering a concise throw. And a fresh set of downs now for the Predators. He's going to take off and run. Kopech has some room. He's going to slide, and he'll get the first down. Kopech has been looking very, very good on this drive, taking care of the football and making good decisions.
Yeah, gets the first down, knows where the first down marker is, and goes down. Avoids the hit.
Under 6 to go in regulation. Charleston down 2 scores. Kopech gonna fire and incomplete. Maybe his first ill-advised throw on this drive. And he's lucky that didn't get picked off for turnover number 5.
And that's a big part of why, Washington's pass defense has been so good. The linebackers have been just outstanding in coverage.
Second down now. Kopech going to check it down to Hoagland coming out of the backfield. Rumbles forward. keeping the defender at bay. And that's going to be another first down for Charleston as they continue this drive.
I think that's really the first play in which, again, what you call a layup throw is just a quick dump off to the back and allow him to make a play. So you need some of those. You need some of those in your playbook just to give your quarterback a little bit of an easy throw to complete.
It's only the first reception from a running back here tonight, as that was a bit of a duck by Kopech looking for Britton along the far sideline, and it's going to be second down.
Yeah, not a good decision on that one. If John DeSantis is able to catch that one, that goes for 6. But right here again, it will be about a 48-yard field goal from here, which is doable.
Certainly would like to give a little bit more room for Cameron Duty. As Kopech trying to find an open man, that wasn't it. Solomon in tight coverage with Willie Bands, and it's going to be third down.
And Willie Bands really has been active. Has a sack, has a couple of pass deflections, a couple solo tackles as well.
And big hits too.
And some big hits, absolutely.
Crucial third down here for the Predators. Kopech, 7-step drop, sets his feet. He fires too tall for the intended receiver, and it's going to be fourth down. Now what do you do?
4th and 10, you have to send your field goal unit, I feel.
Don't
know.
know.
Make it a one-possession game. Oh, looks like they're going to punt here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Ramos, I don't know if this is within Duty's field goal range. So might as well go ahead and punt it away. Duty gets the punt away inside the 20. It's going to bounce, and the Predators snag it inside the 20, so a long way to go here for Washington. They'll probably want to chew some clock, so we might see an emphasis on the run defense for the Predators.
Yeah, with a 2-possession lead, I say run it on 1st, 2nd, and even 3rd down if it comes to that, and try to force Charleston to start burning those timeouts.
Over 100 yards collectively for the Trident on the ground, but Utah's going to throw to start things off. Dean able to adjust to the football, as he gets a 6-yard catch.
Which works almost as a run. It's just a short throw to the back. Keeping the
Coaches would call that an extension of the run game.
Yep, absolutely. And keeping that clock running is the main thing here for the Trident.
Dean with the carry as he gets dragged down by Dan Dash. It's going to be a third down. We've got another crucial third down here for the Charleston defense.
And taking the clock down, you can consider that a successful drive. Even if you go 3 and out, taking a couple minutes off the clock and getting your defense with only 3 minutes left in the game out 2 scores, that's pretty successful.
3rd and 3. On the ground is Dean. Good tackle there, as that wasn't Khalil Thomas for once. That was Jamal Ballard getting in there and filling the gap, forcing the 4th down, and Charleston got to get the football back.
And quietly, that was Ballard's 6th solo tackle, 2nd on the team behind Thomas. It's a good stop by the Charleston defense, but Washington has to feel pretty comfortable. They have only 3 minutes left here in the game, and up 2 touchdowns. This defense has been outstanding all night long.
Britton with the return. Gets it out past the Charleston 40 to the 43-yard line. 3:35 to go. All 3 timeouts. Charleston's going to have to work quickly here if they want to get themselves back ahead in this ball game.
Yeah, they really do. They really do, and preferably conserving, all those timeouts. If you can score, you can still rely on your defense to get another stop and get the ball back again.
Yeah, I think the mission is going to be to get some sort of points on the board, whether that's a field goal or a touchdown, not use any timeouts yet, and then see what your defense can do for you and see if you have an opportunity to win the football game. Kopech, sidearm throw, catch is made. Doug Spelling has been doing that all night long. 3 catches for 59 yards. No huddle for the Predators as Kopech throws again. Wobbler, but it's picked up by Solomon. Short gain of 1.
I think you do one more play, depending on your success, you now huddle. Oh, you have to huddle
Lucky
back.
for them, it's going to be an incomplete pass, so they do have to huddle up. As Michael Knight was the intended receiver, that was not a great throw by Kopech.
No, not a great throw. That was tightly covered. So, silver lining, it does stop the clock with 3:08 left.
Predators come out 4 wide, single back. Only 3 down linemen for the Trident. Play action for Kopech. Pressure's coming, though, and he's going to get thrown down.
They sent in a corner blitz on that one.
And it was actually Rodney Panani that got in there and made the stop. But you're right, Ramos. I think that was DeSantis that came in on the corner blitz as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that sets him back. It's going to be 4th down now. Out of field goal range, they're going to have to go for it, and Kopech throws another pick. That's pretty much the icing on the cake as the Trident are returning it back the other way, deep into Charleston territory, and finally dragged down at the 37-yard line. Albert Begin with the 4th interception of the night off of Kopech. 5th turnover overall, as it's been a great night for the Trident defense.
Really has. And for Kopech, you know, you have to do something, right? Like, you have to throw it up. You know, you cannot just check it down 3-4 yards. You know, the result is the same. You got to throw it past the stick. So I really don't blame him on that. But that's really what this defense has done all night. They've just been glued to the receivers.
And coming into this game, we thought we were going to get a tight game, and it definitely has been that. But Washington, far and away, has done a great job shutting down any opportunity that Charleston has gotten. As Dean gets the carry, another tackle there by Thomas and company. Short gain of 1, and that'll probably bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, if you're the Trident, you just don't snap the football again. You take it to the 2-minute warning, and you run it a couple more times for force Charleston to call at least 2 other timeouts.
Utah up to the line. And he's going to let it go to the 2-minute warning. Washington looking to sack this one away and retake first place in the division as they are up by 9 with 2 minutes to go. You're watching the SFL on VFN. Eric Vincent and Ramos Lynn in the broadcast booth. Ron Haynes and Greg Soto handling stats for us tonight. And Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. Wrapping up week 8 of the Simulation Football League here. And it's been a great game tonight from both of these teams. They have both played defense hard and tough as Charleston going to start burning timeouts to conserve clock.
Yeah, you have to. And even though it's 3rd and long, I don't think you pass the football. They will show 4 receivers, I think. That's only 3. You run it again, too.
I would certainly run it again. And it's going to be a delayed handoff. And that was by design, Ramos. They almost got the first down. Charleston going to burn their 2nd timeout. There's going to be 1 remaining.
Yeah, and that gives Washington a chance to kick a field goal. It will be about a 45, 46-yard field goal from here by Troll. Already 3 for 3.
22, 27, 42. And now this one is going to be doinked. We've got some stoinkage towards the tail end here as he's not able to go 4 for 4. And Charleston still with a little bit of life despite only having 1 timeout.
Yeah, you need to score quickly and get an onside kick. But still some life at the end of the day.
Kopech to the air. He's going to find Spelling. Going to be a 1st down. Charleston going to burn their final timeout. No other option to stop the clock other than getting it out of bounds.
And that's the one route that has worked pretty well, is that inside, or is that slant route, from the right-hand side. This is the one route that has worked pretty well for the Predators.
Washington looking to retake the lead in the West Division following the loss by the Legion tonight. Victory here would seal that. And Solomon not able to reel that one in tight coverage, which has been the story all night long for this Washington defense.
Yeah, and trying to go with a backside receiver, they flood side of the field and they try to go to the other side, but Trident defense very disciplined.
Meanwhile, the Washington offense played a very balanced game plan here tonight against Charleston, taking advantage of opportunities where they get them from their defense, as Twice makes a clutch catch. Play action for Kopech. He's in trouble, going to sidearm and somehow finds Britton just north of the 10-yard line.
Good going.
Kopech, end zone, touchdown. Job not done as Twice adds 6 to the board, and they're within 3.
Back-to-back big catches here by Nick Twice. That one for a touchdown, and not done yet. I mean, if they can get an onside kick, they will get very interesting, even if Charleston doesn't have timeouts left.
Would be absolutely insane if it all came down to a doinked field goal that gave Charleston the opportunity to win this football game. Washington has definitely outplayed Charleston, but the Predators have hung around all game long and are now an onside kick and a field goal from winning this thing.
And especially considering Washington has been in the lead all night long. I mean, Charleston has not had a lead for a single second.
Wire to wire. Here we go. Cameron Duty pops it up. Ball is still on the ground. And I think Washington... No, Charleston recovered it!
Uh-oh.
Unbelievable. What a kick there by Duty to keep that thing trickling on the ground, just barely past the 10 yards. And now Charleston still with life.
Look for Doug Spelling bottom of your screen here.
Looks like one-on-one coverage. 1:09 to go. Whole new ball game. And Charleston is going to run the football inexplicably as the clock will roll.
Yeah, you got to get on the ball quickly, and you have to throw on this one.
Quick break of the huddle. Kopech back to the air. Sets his feet and fires. Incomplete. Threw it into double coverage, and that brings up a third down. 48 seconds to go.
Okay, 3rd and 8. You know, you have to basically go to the best play on your playbook, the best passing play on your playbook here, because if it gets to 4th and 8, then it gets really, really tough.
4 wide for Kopech. Play action as he rolls out. Has time. He's going to throw. He's got a man. Catch is made by Britton, and that's going to extend the drive. Clock continuing to roll.
They do need about 15 yards, maybe, for them to be in scoring range. They're about the 43. They need to get to about the 28 or so, 27.
Kopech quickly over 300 yards. Has time. Got to check it down. Brad Taylor Wright rumbling out of the backfield. Gets inside the 40. They're going to have to spike the football. Kopech quickly getting back up to the line. And he's going to run the play. Kopech fires. Catch is made. Michael Knight inside the 25-yard line. They got to get up to the line. They got to hurry. I don't know if they're going to have time. And
Just
Charleston
not enough time.
Is going to run out of time at the very end. Washington holds on and moves to 5-1 to retake the lead in the West Division. What a ball game. 23-21, your final score. What are your final thoughts there, Ramos?
You know, you're thinking, hurry to the line, man. With 6 seconds, I don't think you can get to the line quick enough and spike the ball anyway. So valiant effort here by Charleston, but this was a game that was dominated by the Washington defense, all things considered, and my player of the game will go to a defensive player. I will give it to Nathaniel Diggs. He set the tone early with that interception, had 4 solo tackles as well as a tackle for loss. He was amazing tonight.
Yeah, gotta agree with you there. I'll probably go the same, honestly, because he had the fumble recovery as well.
Yep.
So 2 turnovers, same guy. Want to thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the SFL on VFN. On behalf of Ramos Lynn, Ron Haynes, and Greg Soto, my name is Eric Vinson. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the flip side. Good night.